Okay, we're live. Hello, good morning. Let me just write a tweet. Hey, so this is episode 4 of creating the Polkadot Treasury report, and today we are looking at the balance sheet. Let me post a tweet. We are looking at the balance sheet. Is our screen good? Yeah. So let's wrap up what we did last session. Last session we actually created a new view, and this came a little bit unexpected. But we gathered the data about all these treasury payouts. And so this is when the treasury, there's different ways of asking the treasury for money, and one of them is to ask from Asset Hub, and it's sort of becoming a little bit more dominant way. But it is also the way when you're asking for stablecoins. So when you ask for USDT, USDC, or let's say that's the primary way or the only way, when you ask for USDC, USDT, it only lives on Asset Hub, and sort of it's a little bit internal to the implementation. But governance currently sits on the relay chain, and assets are being, so stablecoins are being requested from Asset Hub, and so you have to use a special extrinsics. And so basically what you don't get is an immediate payout, but you get a voucher, a claim on that money. And so what the treasury then does is it says you can claim this in the future. And so we get a line item for each of those vouchers. And so one claim might be that you get, for example, Polkadot here, if we take out the latest, or let's say this one because this is in approved state. Or let's take this as a simple example. So Polkadot asked for USDT. Polkadot asked for USDT. And so we get this line item with a claim that becomes valid at a certain date, and then it expires at a certain date. And in this case, it's already in the state paid, so they already claimed the money. But then there is, for example, this mixed proposal for Polkadot Blockchain Academy. And it's a mixed proposal because there is a USDT component, and they become active at different points in time. So I guess this is 6 weeks here, and this is 8 to 9 weeks. And so some of them are not yet claimed. Okay, so we created this screen to gather all that information. And now what this allows us to do is to create a list of outstanding claims. And so we now have a list of when there is future claims on DOT, on USDT, on USDC. Okay, so this is what we did last time. Now, what I want to do for today, Polkadot, is the balance sheet. So let me quickly show you how the balance sheet looks like, and then we're gonna replicate it. So there is two major tables that we're creating for the report. One is the balance sheet, one is the income statement. The income statement is the list of all the spends and how income and spends have been managed. And then there's the balance sheet, and the balance sheet shows the current state of what assets are actually here. And so this is what the balance sheet looked like last time. And yeah, so the smart thing to do would be to just look at this information on the actual date when you're taking the balance sheet, because then you have the live data. This time, for some reason, I'm late and we will not have the live data, so we will sort of have to do a little bit of on-chain investigation, or let's say RPC investigation, ask the RPC for the data. I guess we will be able to do it for almost all of those things. The only thing where I'm not so sure is if we're gonna ask hydration, because there is like some very practical links that I'm typically using that might not work this time, but we will see. Okay, so this session today is a lesson in how can you write this balance sheet and ask the chain. I see there's one viewer right now, so hi, welcome for joining. If you have a question, just let me know. Okay, so we want to replicate this sheet, and we have our copy here of the sheet from last time. So these are the values we have from last time. And the thing I would be starting to do is think, did anything substantial change? Now we had the Polkadot ambassador fellowship. Okay, so we have this represented here, and it's not in the form of assets. Ambassador program, it's here. The other thing The other significant change that I realized is that because there is these claimable vouchers that we just discussed, that they actually should be represented here in the form of liabilities or commitments. We have to think about this. But I think it is actual liabilities. And so I understand there is current liabilities, and then there's like some other kinds of liabilities, like longer term liabilities. So we will represent them here. And I'm gonna quickly look up how this is called when it is not a current liability by asking my favorite LLM, what is it called when it is not a current liability but goes longer? And this can be a quick answer. Long-term loans, bonds payable, lease obligations, pension obligations, deferred, non-current liability. Okay, let's just call it non-current liability for now, and then we will figure the remainder out later. So I'm gonna just insert a few rows here so that we have like a reminder of this. So there is non-current liabilities, and we would say these ones are smaller equal, and then these are bigger than 30 days. And and then we have USDC, USDT, and dot liabilities. So we would call this category claims. Claims? Is it a claim? Yeah, let's say it's a claims payable. And we need one more column. And so there would be dot, there would be USDC, and there would be USDT, and all of this is on asset hub. Asset hub, asset hub, asset hub. Okay, and we will figure out the exact amounts a little bit later, but this would go here. So, and then in the past, these were the past values, and you see I marked some of them bold, and then this is typically the unit in which it is denominated. So for example, there is a certain amount in the Treasury main account, so mark this bold, and then I calculate the equivalent amount in USD or in dot. And so there's always like in one cell we have the actual amount, and then in the other cell we have the formula, and I mark them bold so that I can actually remove, like quickly know which values to remove. But first of all, let's figure out the exchange rate on the day the balance sheet closed. So this would be, and it is 2025. So we're gonna figure out the exchange rate on that point in time. Hey, Eric. Are you also auditing bounties or just what has been paid out directly to proposals? Okay, great question, Eric. We are looking at child bounties. So there has been 2 instances where actually bounties have been paid out directly, but most of the time money is flowing out via child bounties. And so what we're saying is there is everything inside the Treasury, and the Treasury is not just the Treasury main account, but everything that is under the jurisdiction of OpenGov. So bounties and child bounties count under the jurisdiction of OpenGov. Also the protocol-owned liquidity on Hydration and on Bifrost and on Centrifuge and on Pendulum count as protocol-owned liquidity and is considered to be internal to the Treasury. And then whenever it crosses that boundary and moves outwards, then it is considered a spend. So when money is moving from the Treasury main account to a bounty, it is not considered a spend. It is considered to be an internal transfer. Okay, back to where I was. Yeah, we wanted to look up the price of USDT. No, dot. on the day of the so this would be the closing price on the 31st of March, and the .USD closing price would be $4.02, 4.02. So balance sheet, that would be 4.02. Now the values would be updating here. No? Did they already update? Ah, they already updated. Okay. And now I'm gonna remove these values here. So basically we want to set it to 0 so that we are sure we are not making a mistake and taking all the values. And we actually also have a third Treasury stablecoin acquisition campaign, and maybe we can consider some of the old campaigns ended. We will see. So I'm adding 2 more rows here. And maybe this is even okay. And then end this and this. Remove. What's going on here? Oh, both of these values are determined by looking at the multisig and what's the status here. So this would be good to know. Okay, close to 0. And this one is a little bit okay, but we can look at the multisig. So it has now 3 million MIF. So some of that has been transferred out, I suppose. 10 million. What's the date? Done. Was it cross-chain transfer? Yeah. So 1.8 million MIF was moved before the end of the quarter. So this balance was achieved before the quarter ended. So we can take this value. And maybe we just want to round it. That's okay. Good. So we have an exact value here. Okay. So this is valid, and then the v.apr. We shouldn't maybe have deleted the last ones here. Those shouldn't go. We should just check or update them. But this one here. Okay, good. Now we can look up the actual values. Is there something else? Fellowship salaries, we can look this up at the end. Okay, so now we are on this funny challenge of how do we figure out what was the Treasury main account on a certain date. So one thing you might be able to do is you look at the balance history. Okay, maybe we are lucky. You know what, we will take these values. These are good enough. So 16,640, 16,640, 187, 16,640, 187, 16,640, 187. Okay, good. Thank you, Subscan. This is making our lives easier because in the past sometimes you had to look it up on chain. Okay, now we're going to look up Treasury Asset Hub. And we want to know the .USDT and USDC values. There is some other assets, but they are typically they have so low liquidity that we consider them to be of value 0 because the Treasury would be very unlikely to liquidate them for various reasons. Okay, so let's look at the dot value, and the dot value on the was for 324 to 10, for 324 to 10, for 324 to 10. for 324 to 10. Okay, but the USDC, USDT values, are they visible here? I guess these ones we will have to look up. Yeah, these ones we will have to look up. We could also say we calculate backwards. Did you hear a hungry cat in the background? Very possible. Not today. Today the cats have been fed, but this is two people having a conversation, and I think they just discovered something very funny. And sometimes very funny things sound like hungry cats. Okay, I could be calculating the value backwards. This might be even the smartest thing to do right now. Maybe we should, yeah, maybe we should do that. That is maybe simpler. Maybe that is simpler. So let's just go like this. This was still before the end of the month. This was still before the end of the month, and this was at the boundary. So, okay, taking the mouse that is not broken. Okay, sometimes you have to do, okay, we're just gonna make a new sheet here. So what I'm doing, let me see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna format this via ChatGPT. Put this into a table because this is unworkable. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want this ChatGPT. Oh yeah, I want this ChatGPT. Can I copy all of this? Okay, I think all of my browsers broke. Yeah, I just ordered the new parts for my new computer. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday. And yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to my new computer because this stuff breaking all the time is really not funny. In this case, it doesn't even end. End process. Ah, okay. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to my new computer. Okay, so let's see if the new chat conversation is still there. This is oh yeah. Okay. Can I copy this? Yes. No. Yeah, I think I can. Let's see. Whoop. No. Ah, okay. Then I can download it. Yes, I can do this. Oh. Go away. Okay, I have a CSV file. Cannot import it directly, but I can import it like this. Upload. Download. This is from, no, this is not from, where did we download it? Ah. Okay. Append to current sheet. Good. Okay. This is good. Now I can pivot it. Pivot. And I want to just append it here. Go ahead. Okay, now I want to have it by currency, and I would just want the sum of the amounts. Yeah. Okay, and now this doesn't look legit. Do we have formatting errors? No. Ah, it looks legit. Okay. Now these were the spends. These were the previous spends. So we can compare this against the values that we currently have in the treasury. And if we add the two together, this is the day we had. This is the amount we had on the day. So we have. Okay, we have USDC. Where's my other tabs? Okay, so USDC, and we have USDT. Fine. Okay, and so the sum would be this plus this. And then we can repeat the same thing here. This is the amounts we had. So this is the amount of USDC we had. The formatting is gone, and this is the amount of USDT we had. I see, you're taking away my formatting. Format USDT. Format USDC. Okay, good. Thank you for the help. And this is how we get to the amount of USDT. Yeah, Eric, just close excessive browser windows. Yeah, it seems that, so I really tried to figure out for quite some time what is broken about my computer. Together with ChatGPT, I isolated the issue to be, it's either the CPU, so that like the, I don't know, the integrated memory or the component of the CPU that is communicating with the memory. It's like either one, this one is broken, or something is like wonky with my main board, and this was really hard to determine. And after like 3 months of like trying to figure out what is going on, I decided to buy a new computer. What I do see is that I have less issues when I have a lot of like applications closed. So I have this suspicion that it's like when the CPU is swapping out memory and like it's swapping like something from the RAM into the SSD. I think it's some like into the swap. I think it's something here going on. Anyways, okay, now we want to figure out how much we had in the stablecoin, in Treasury stablecoin acquisition campaigns. Okay, so we have this account here which lives on hydration, and it's part of the account for the stablecoin acquisition campaign. And so what we can do here is, oh, we have E dot, I guess. Yeah, okay, now it's fun because now we are reusing the account for the new stablecoin acquisition campaign. So we will have to repurpose this. And I'm just gonna call this Treasury stablecoin acquisition account because now it's no longer campaign based. But when we're reusing the same account, let's just see if the first account is still there because it's sort of dead, but there is still a little bit of money sitting there. And yeah, Eric, using ChatGPT for data analysis is super helpful because ChatGPT is really good at Python, and you can let it write programs or you can do the data manipulation yourself. Yeah, I don't know. So there's $6,500 and like $1,300 sitting in that account, and I think this hasn't changed for quite some time. You know, I'm still gonna mention it, but I'm not sure if anything is gonna happen about this at any point. So maybe I will stop reporting on this. But I mean, it's $6,500. We shouldn't just let it get to waste. 1,300 and 3.8 dot. Okay, I'm gonna remove this and I call this account 1. And this is stablecoin treasury acquisition account number 2. Count, whoops. Okay, and then there is like 3.886 dot. Oops, no. Okay, and let's look up what's going on in account number 2. And we just have an additional rev to respect here. So I will just make mention of the rev. And this is rev. Oh. Yeah, but now finding out the value for this one, this is gonna be the stable. Let's see, when did the new stablecoin acquisition campaign pass? OpenGov monitor. Stable. Okay, the tab is still loading. Not sure if this is gonna finish on time. But I know it was about 5 million and 1,000. Maybe it's not here. Here, 15,001, 1501, and it got approved later. It just got approved a few days ago. So then this is still not part of the thing here. I'm gonna just make a note here for the future. But yeah, so we need to get to the state of the account on the 31st. This is a little bit of a sad story. Did I delete the link? Did I delete the link? No. Okay, now I will teach you how to look up the state of an account in the past, which is a very essential life skill. So we're visiting our favorite tool, which is Polkadot GS apps. And we're gonna visit hydration. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so we want to look into the chain state. And we want to know the account we're looking at. So And then we need to figure out the exact point of the chain state, like what to query in the chain state. But I would say let's look if there's like balances. Okay, there is a balances palette, an account, and we want to no accounts available for selection. Why is that? What's going on? Why can I not set this? Something wrong? Here I can query it. So maybe something that the node does not support. Very weird. Maybe it's a different palette. Balances. Let's see if there's a different palette. Stable swap. Tokens. Okay, tokens looks promising. No account available for selection. Option. Okay, it's bad. This is bad. I would like to see this information. Can you give me some information, please? Wow, this is very weird. Uniques. No account available for selection. And I also cannot like perform a query. Oof. Okay, maybe not that. Maybe the nodes are not keeping the history. Okay, IBP might be a good chance, please. If I can't pull this is bad. Okay, balances. It's the same. Tokens. What is going on, my friend? Okay, let's default to the other method we just used. It's just, we need to go through a lot of data. This is not fun. This is not fun if this has been going on for days. I will have a hard time, like, we can guesstimate it. Okay, download all data. Let's download all data. Downloading all data is always fun. Motorcycle. Okay, this is even gonna be fun for subsequent. Okay, while this downloads, we can look at a different activity. Okay, so we're trying to get the stablecoin treasury. Fellowship spending account should be easier. Have these been messed up too? No, here they are. So, what's the recent spend? Okay, so we can take this value. And this is the Fellowship Treasury spending account. Okay, and then we take the Fellowship Salary Treasury. Yeah, this one has been changed in the last few days, but this should be simple. We can do the same thing here. Yeah, let's do the same thing here. We download all the data. Motorcycles. Is it motorcycle? Yeah. Okay. We get this. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing as before. We're gonna calculate by just adding whatever spends there has been. So zoop, this was too fast. Zoop, append to current sheet, import. Okay, and the only thing I want to check is, has there been any additions? No, it has only been outgoing money. Okay, so we are creating a pivot from our raw data here, and we're adding it here. And we are interested in the value, and we just want everything, let's filter it like this, by date, and we just are interested in everything that was after date is after, and we want to have 2025. Do we have something? No, there's a clear boundary. Okay, 2025 0331. So all the numbers afterwards. Okay, let's do a quick check if this matches. Yeah, this matches. And now, what unit is this? Ah, this is USDT. So 104,000 is what I get here, and the filter here seems to not be working. Ah, the filter here does nothing. Date is after. Ooh, I took block instead of date. Oopsie. Let's just do a double confirmation. Date is after 2025 0331. Yeah, and we get the same value, 104,000. Okay, now let's add to that the current amount that is in the salary treasury. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, and then we can take this and subtract and add this. And this is what was in a treasury at that day. And I see we're not denominating quite correctly, so I want to do this because, so 1,300 USDC and 6,500 USDT. And we do the same thing here with the fellowship sub-treasury being denominated in USDT. Okay. Let's see, did the download here still working? Okay. So, okay, now we have a fellowship salary stablecoin acquisition campaign, and I think it has has it concluded? Yeah, this has concluded quite some time ago, and there's still 11,000 dots sitting here. 11,000 dot and 1,250 USDT. So okay, good. Yeah, and then the ambassador program is a little bit unclear. I have to check up on the updates. Okay, let's see. Did our export yield a result? Yes. Okay. No. Treasury events table. Did we get a download? Did we not get a download? Did it abort? Oh. The download was blocked. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Subscan. Ooh, quite a big file. Okay, we're gonna try to input this and see what happens. So, and I'm gonna reuse this table. Let's see if we can import. I don't think we can import 130 megabytes. Also, we shouldn't need to, because we actually are only interested in a part of the whole story here. So let's see what happens here. Google Drive is not going to be happy about this. Okay, I think I can already prepare. So what I'm doing in this instance is I'm asking ChatGPT for help, and I'm not even sure if ChatGPT is going to take a file this big. But if it doesn't take a file this big, we can still prepare. Just like we could quickly ask it for a Python script to do it ourselves. But let's see what we get here. Maybe Google Drive is nice or tolerant, or maybe it's nice or tolerant because we're paying it money. I mean, for them it's, I guess, a few cents. And it hasn't blocked the import yet. Okay. Append. Are you really doing this? Too large, right? Okay. How do we do this? I think we're just gonna peek a little bit into the file. So the media, share, one, downloads, and then the file is called seven KCP. Okay, we take a little bit of the signature, and this helps us go to ChatGPT and say I'm gonna ask O for mini. I have a file with this signature. Whoopsie, did it not? Copy selection. Write a Python script that filters out all the rows that are on or after 2025 of referred. Yeah, okay, let's try this one out, and I'm just gonna add it temporarily to my project here. So this is parse.py. Let's not worry about this too much. Okay, we have a script that should parse this, and then I guess the way we call it is we copy our file. we copy our file here. Yeah. And no. Okay. And now I would say Python parse like this. Input output. Okay. Out. Okay. Looks good. Let's look into the file. And this is how we filter data. Okay, and now we can go into our table. And yeah, I could also have asked, asked the ChatGPT to just like directly calculate the number, but I want to have a little bit of visual confirmation that we did everything correct. So first of all, the first part of the visual confirmation is to actually look at the script that we just had. And this looks, it just says smaller as, which is a little bit irritating. If the column is smaller than the, yeah, okay, this is correct. Good, and the output here, filter data rows before. Yeah, this is not correct. It should be, did I mistype this? I mean, I can just, anyways, we will change it. Okay, I'm gonna visit the folder to copy the file once it is correct. What is it? OpenGov Watch Monitor, OpenGov Monitor. Yeah. So we want every data that is equal or bigger. This is what we want to have. Okay, much better. 12 megabytes. Still huge. Good. But I guess this should be acceptable. And I mean, we just need a visual confirmation. If for some reason that is still too big for Google Drive, we can also just calculate it in Python. It's fine. This typically you make the trade-off in what works fastest for you. Right, it's 5 minutes plus or minus to get to the value. It still adds up. Okay, so whoopsie. Okay. Yeah, lots of activities. Let's go down to the bottom. Yeah, and it was already active on the 31st, so we can delete those rows. I just wanted to make sure like I'm not missing anything. Wow, quite a big. 9, 10, 11, 12. Lots of rows we're producing here. This is and it's and we need to filter a little bit because it's going through the tuple every time. Okay, so I guess everything from here down, delete. Good. Okay, now we need to figure out what we want to filter because there's two things. There's dot. What is this? Okay, so 4 lines is one action, and then we have actions for USDT and for USDC. And we have this tuple activity. So there is a token coming in there. So we're buying 2 pool tokens. Interesting. Okay, what's going on here? And this continues to change, so we actually should grab the numbers before we continue, because else we again miss because since we started the export, we already had additional activity. Okay, it's gonna be off by a few dollars. So this is the USDC amount. And then we have a USDT amount. And then we have a dot, we have 2 dots. And we have ATA dot. But it's weird, like who's paying the fees? Like if there's no dot in this account, where are the fees paid from? So and why? Okay, here we see USDT. But then at the beginning of the month, okay, so before this executed. So here for the longest time we have USDT. Sometimes the pattern changes. So there was like a missed beat. Okay, sometimes there is a missed beat. And then here suddenly there is dot. What is, maybe they changed the mode. So let's look at the cross-chain transfers. Okay, so basically there is now, the account is moving out the tokens every 3-4 hours that it has acquired. We're just going to look into one of the transactions. So it's moving out, I guess it's moving out the tokens that it has acquired. Yeah, moving to Asset Hub. And what's the amount that you're moving? 5,000. 5,000 of this and 5,000 of this. Okay, so it's buying 5,000 USDC, buying 5,000 USDT every 4 hours, I guess. It's just moving 5,000 every hour. And then we have this activity here. So maybe this is odd. There should be Maybe I had a misunderstanding and this is still just campaign 2 and maybe the campaign concluded in this now. So maybe it just used up all the dot and it's just removing and it's just moving the remaining amounts. So I think the most likely explanation is, can I close this? Why is this not closing? Okay, so I think the most likely explanation is it just used up the dot until like all the dot was used up, like here in April. And it just swapped it for USDC, USDT. And now, since it's all used up, it's just moving over here, right? And now, basically, this acquisition campaign has ended. Okay, we can get certainty by comparing to Rev 1501 and just seeing that it does something different. Okay, so how do I investigate a stablecoin acquisition campaign? So the idea is this OpenGraph Rev asks to send money to hydration. I suppose that's no, so it's this is fees, and then it instructs something. But so first of all, it needs to okay. So first of all, it is sending an instruction to hydration, and I'm interested to learn what the instruction is. So we're gonna look this up on hydration. So I go to developer extrinsics, the code, I put in the code here. So proxy, yeah, it's proxying the campaign 2, and then it instructs a batch all DCA terminate. So maybe this was around, maybe this was around here. Where is it? Maybe this was around here, 24th. I think this is when it executed actually. Yeah, and look, so here it always like moved small dot amounts, like 20 dot, and then here it terminated. So I suppose it removed 2.5 million dot. No, yeah, it moved 2.5 million dot into maybe another module. 24, but it's the same module that's paying out USDC, USDT all the time. So maybe, I guess, operations on hydration changed. Okay, let's just follow the trail. So it says DCA terminate. DCA terminate. So it's terminating, I guess, USDC, USDT campaigns. And then it says routers sell all. Maybe it's buying some HTX. I suppose it's buying some HTX. As set out 1001 could be HTX. And then it starts a new schedule. With a slippage. Or maybe it's A dot. No. We would have to look it up. But this could be $20. No, but we're not buying $20. Maybe just read the proposal. Per trade, 20 dot. Send 5 million dot. After one block to process the balance. Whoops. No. So hydration, Treasury sends 5 million dot to the hydration. Transact on hydration. Initiate 2 DCA schedules with 2.5 million dot each. Swapping 20 dot for USDT USDC every 20 blocks. Okay, so there is the second DCA schedule. The only thing that is weird is the amount doesn't match because they said 2.5 million. So I want to look a little bit deeper what's going on here. Okay, so maybe to remove some uncertainty and confusion, we're seeing like asset in, asset out. One way to figure out what these assets are is that we just look it up by using it, looking at the on-chain data. So we would be looking at the chain state, and I hope this one works. So this is like, we would like looking for tokens, and then let's just, and we cannot call this. Can also not call this. Okay, the implementation is just empty. Bonds broadcast. Is there anything we can call? Okay, there is one thing we can call. Okay, I cannot look up the tokens because for some reason this is not able to do this, which is a little bit frustrating. Okay, let's keep looking for additional information here. So there's the first instruction that is sent. Let's just assume it's, I don't know, buying HDX or something. And then it is dispatching a batch all. Dispatches batch all. XM pallet limited reserve transfer assets, and it's moving, I assume it's moving 5 million dot to this one account, and then it's moving this 1000 dot to the other recipient here for like the fees or something. Yeah, I guess this is then the fees, and then it waits 2 blocks and it sends more instructions. So I'm gonna start to take some notes. Notes. Hydration stable swap campaign 1501. Okay, so the first one is, so there's the first call. And then we have a second call. Let's just look at the second call. Proxy, batch all, router sell, I guess that's 5 million dot -1, and I guess it's selling for a dot, maybe, and then maybe it sends it into a DCA schedule, 20 dot, maybe in, but it cannot be a dot. It's really weird. The whole balance just went down. On the 24th of 2.5 million dot. I think I have to ask about this. And then it has been sitting at a stable amount. We have to check if it's the same account. Maybe it's just starting with the same signature, but this is H1AV. And let's check where we're moving here. Yeah, this is proxying a different account. Okay. I think I just got confused. So I assume if we open up another tab, and we change the address to this one, we see that it holds $10 million, but no dot. This is getting more and more confusing. Is this a stable pool? This looks like a stable pool. This is, it's not 10 million, it's 10,000. Okay, sorry you have to witness all of this, but you decided. Okay, I want to get more clarity into this, so I'm gonna open up one window here on the side. No, how does Linux work? Okay, I'm gonna open up one window here on the side. I'm gonna solve this mystery, and then I'm done for this session. This was very confusing. Okay, we're gonna close this. Oh, and I have to check if I don't have a call right now. No. Okay, one window for the notes, one window for the investigation. Okay, so we have the ref. 1501. So and the plan is to send 5.1.2 controlled exclusively by the relay chain sovereign account on hydration. Okay, so there is like accounts. There is a relay. There's a relay chain sovereign account. And it's this account. And then there is a pure proxy, and the pure proxy is this account. Okay. So, and then there is a procedure, and the procedure says DCA 2.5 million dot to USDC and DCA 2.5 million dot to USDT. And then every 4 hours send 5k USDT and 5k USDC to asset up. Treasury. Okay. Yeah, this is creating a little bit more clarity. So okay, and this is ref 15.0, and then what was also confusing me is that there is like ref 11.04, and this is confusing because Rev 11.04, bam, and this was for five. Five, 2, 5, 6. No, dot. Okay, I feel the feeling I have right now is that this campaign here, 1501, it does some cleanup work, but it doesn't, or maybe context. So the full amount of dot will initially be converted into a dot. And supplied. But it is essentially supplying it to the money market. And it newly utilizes the rolling DCA feature, which enables renewing the schedule but just sending dot to the proxy account. Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, now I want to look up the accounts and see if this checks out. Okay, so we have one account here which is AOE. So this is the pure proxy, and the pure proxy has 80 A dot. Now it would be interesting to know how much 80 A dot is, and if this A dot is moving in any way. But it has not been changing in the last few days. Okay, let's see what is happening on the transfer side. So there is USDC and USDT coming in. And there is tokens going out. But is the dot coming from a different account? Okay, let's look now at the sovereign account. So the sovereign account has 11,000 dot. Ah, okay, so the sovereign account. So this is the sovereign account, and the sovereign account is the one that has a balance of 1 to 50 USDT. So this was one of the other campaigns. Was it campaign number 1? It was. Okay, this is a separate. What did I just look up? I just looked up Treasury stablecoin account too. So I guess this is 1104. Yeah. So accounts. I assume this is a pure proxy. So, and the balance history, this is the one with the weird balance history. '24th, and I think 1501 executed on that day. Yeah, 1501 executed on the day, so there has to be a cleanup happening on this account. So we have the information, so we can look it up. This is this transaction here, right? Dot. And where does it move? It moves here. So this is 1 HV, and then it moves to this account H824. I've never heard of that account. It's the router. So why is the okay, you know what? We will look at the block. We'll look at the block and see what happens here. but I'm gonna take a note that this is the router. Is this the router? Or it's not the router? Is there no events? There's a lot of events. Tokens, currencies, tokens unreserved, DCA terminated, DCA terminated. Okay, this looks good. So tokens withdrawn, currency ID, I guess, okay. Okay, tokens unreserved. So again 5. DCA terminated. And you see 7356. This is also what we saw here. DCA terminated 7356. Okay, so this matches. Okay, so you know what? Let's store this execution block. No, this is not the execution block. This is the execution block. $7,480,000. Okay, so this is a batch call. This is another DCA termination. 7357. Okay, item completed. System new account 824. This does not relate to us, maybe. Module router. Okay, so this is new account. New account. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, new account. Tokens endowed. Okay, this is this module router, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2.558 million dot, which is the amount we see here. So, okay, I'm just gonna note this down as the weird router. The WTF router. Which holds 0 tokens, but it's like constantly moving stuff around. I guess if I look at the beginning of this router, I cannot even look at the beginning of this router, because it's just like having a gazillion transactions. Okay, it's $80, but there's also like Sol. I want to, can I have the last page of this, please? Okay, I want to go back to the blog. Okay, so it's creating this new account. Where are we? New account, tokens endowed. Okay, so it's transferring the tokens from the old campaign to this router, and it kills and then the tokens get moved to another account. Okay, and what do we have here? Here we have like 8 million dots sitting. And this seems to be the account that is feeding all the dot into the, okay. So there is an account that has like at least 5 million dots plus 2.5 million dots and some more. This is like all the dots sitting in the rolling DCA. Why is this so complicated? 20 dot, 20 dot. But then there is like also some other dot. My best guess is this has like okay, so I guess this is all, my best guess is this is all the dots sitting in a dot DCA account. Okay, then I would say the thing that is interesting is just, is there still tokens coming into this account? Okay, there's like just 8. Okay, so campaign 2 is still ongoing, has incoming value. But this is a bit frustrating, like how they building this, because now there is no clear oversight over how much there is still in the DCA account. Okay, I will ask Ben about this. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm getting hungry. But basically what we're closing down with is that the hydration changed the mode in which they are handling DCAs, and it's now sitting, the tokens are now sitting in a different account. With the dot, and it's not really clear to me how to handle this. And I'm gonna ask Ben from Hydration to clear up some of those questions, and then we're gonna continue the stream at a later point in time.